Thank you for watching the video. This is YouTube Medical University. Have you ever experienced symptoms like these? Somehow.
I've been feeling more tired than usual, even when eating. I don't enjoy food as much. I seem to catch colds more frequently and have been getting more mouth ulcers and chapped lips. That might actually be a sign of hidden zinc deficiency. What is zinc anyway? Isn't zinc a metal? Some of you might be wondering if zinc even exists in the body. Actually, if you study medicine, you'll learn that zinc is a metal that plays a very important role in the body. The Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare recommends that adult men get 11 milligrams of zinc per day and adult women get 8 milligrams per day. However, the reality is that both men and women are not getting enough on average, and what's more, it is reported that about 2 billion people around the world may be suffering from zinc deficiency. So even in Japan, without realizing it, it's not uncommon for people to experience physical problems due to zinc deficiency. In fact, I often diagnose zinc deficiency and prescribe zinc as a hospital medication. It's just not widely known, but in fact, zinc deficiency is not uncommon for those working in the medical field. This time, I'll introduce the surprising benefits of zinc that you might miss out on if you don't know about them. And in the second part, I'll talk about what happens when you lack zinc. I'll introduce the bodily changes, and then in the third part, I'll talk about smart ways to supplement zinc through your diet and what I actually do when I'm lacking zinc. I'll also introduce some supplements, so please listen until the end. By watching this video, you'll gain the right knowledge about zinc, and even if you become deficient, you'll be able to catch the symptoms early and possibly deal with any health issues quickly. As a practicing doctor at YouTube Medical University, I share tips to help you become healthier starting tomorrow. I will continue to share important information responsibly from a doctor's perspective. If you don't want to miss new videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it. When you hear the word zinc, most of you probably think of it being used for metal plating or something like that. Actually, the human body also contains a very small amount of zinc. It's said to be about 2 grams. That's really a tiny amount, isn't it? Just 2 grams is such a small quantity. Zinc plays an essential role in our lives. There are mainly 4 roles it serves. First, it helps create our body's blueprint, DNA. Second, it supports the function of enzymes, which are necessary for producing energy, making hormones, and maintaining bodily functions. Third, it plays a role in preventing oxidative stress. In other words, it helps stop our bodies from aging due to oxidation. And fourth, it supports our immune system, protecting us from germs and foreign substances. It's said that zinc also plays a role in maintaining the immune system that protects our bodies. Truly, it's a behind-the-scenes powerhouse. Our bodies are made up of 37 trillion cells, and each of these cells is constantly being renewed from old to new. In that process, DNA, the blueprint of our body, is essential. Proteins that contain zinc are responsible for replicating this DNA blueprint. It supports this process. In other words, if you don't have enough zinc, DNA replication doesn't go smoothly, which can lead to various problems throughout the body. Remember that. I also mentioned that a lack of zinc affects things like oxidative stress and immunity. We take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, but taking in too much oxygen can actually be harmful, as has been said. A small portion of the oxygen we take in becomes what's called reactive oxygen species, which can damage our cells. To put it simply, these reactive oxygen species act like rust in the body, leading to aging and becoming a cause of diseases. Zinc actually plays a role in supporting the antioxidants that fight against these reactive oxygen species, helping them work effectively. In order to reduce oxidative stress and maintain a youthful body, zinc is essential. Also, to prevent catching colds and to protect our bodies from bacteria and viruses, our bodies are equipped with an immune system. It is believed that if you lack zinc, your immune system will weaken, making you more susceptible to catching colds and infections. What do you think about that? It plays many crucial roles, including preventing aging, boosting immunity, and even being involved with DNA. I think we've learned that zinc is a very important mineral. Now, in the second period, I'll introduce 6 surprising signs that can occur due to a decrease in zinc. Here are 6 surprising signs of zinc deficiency, starting with abnormal taste and appetite, which many may already know about. When zinc levels drop, it's often said on health programs that you may have trouble tasting things, food might not have any flavor, or it just doesn't taste good. But that's not all. When zinc levels drop, not only does it become harder to taste things, but your sense of taste can actually change. For example, you might eat something sweet but it tastes salty, or things just taste different than usual, and that's not all. Zinc is involved in the metabolism of taste bud cells on the tongue, which are responsible for sensing taste. That's why your sense of taste can change. If you understand this reason, you'll see that when the metabolism of the tongue cells doesn't work properly, it can cause problems with the tongue, like tingling pain or a strange feeling in the mouth for some people. Surprisingly, a tingling pain in the tongue could be caused by zinc deficiency. You might not think they're connected, so please remember this. The second unexpected sign of zinc deficiency is skin problems. Signs of zinc deficiency often show up on the skin, especially on the face. Redness and dryness, or dermatitis, tend to occur more easily around the eyes, mouth, and nose. As I mentioned at the beginning, zinc helps with DNA replication and cell division. The skin has a fast metabolism to maintain its barrier, so if you lack zinc, your skin can't repair itself properly, making it harder for wounds to heal. This slow healing can increase the risk of infections and lead to dermatitis. The third unexpected sign of zinc deficiency is trouble with your nails. For example, if your nails have recently become more prone to chipping or breaking. If you notice white lines appearing on your nails, that could also be related to zinc. Zinc deficiency might be the cause. The first nail problem is that your nails become softer or more prone to breaking. The main component of nails is a protein called keratin. Actually, zinc is essential for producing this protein called keratin, so when your zinc levels are low, your nail cells can't be produced properly, which leads to symptoms like softer or more brittle nails. You might notice your nails chip easily from minor impacts, or they start peeling in layers like a millefeuille. Those kinds of symptoms could indicate a zinc deficiency. And here's the second point. Have you ever noticed horizontal lines on your nails like this? This is also called Bow's lines, which refers to grooves or lines that run horizontally across the nail. The reason this happens is that nails usually grow in a vertical direction, but if this growth temporarily stops, horizontal lines or indentations can form. This can occur not just from zinc deficiency but other issues too, so be cautious. However, regardless, it could be a sign that something abnormal is happening in your body, so please pay attention. Please consider visiting a dermatologist or your regular hospital. And as for the third change in your nails, it's things like hangnails around your nails. It's when you have inflammation, pain, redness or swelling. The skin at the base of your nail acts as a barrier to protect the area where the nail is formed. When you're deficient in zinc, the skin that protects your nails becomes weaker, making it easier for hangnails to form. Bacteria can then enter through these areas, causing pain and swelling at the sides of your nails. This often happens to people with ingrown toenails, where bacteria enter from the side of the nail and cause pain. But actually, zinc deficiency can also make this more likely to happen. It's surprising, isn't it? Not many people know that being prone to hangnails can be caused by zinc deficiency, so please remember this if you can. The next change is this. Your nails may crack vertically. This isn't a very common change, but again, zinc deficiency affects nail growth. When your nails aren't formed properly, you might see vertical cracks appear. This can also happen due to other nutritional deficiencies besides zinc. In addition, you might notice white spots or marks like this on your nails. When it comes to changes that make your nails turn white, one well-known example is white lines on the nails. In other words, a fungal infection of the nails is something to suspect first when your nails turn white. However, actually, zinc deficiency can also cause white spots or marks to appear on your nails, so please remember this as well. Let's do a quick review so far. I've talked about 3 unexpected signs of zinc deficiency. The first is abnormal taste, or a tingling sensation on the tongue. The second is dermatitis, wounds on the skin that are slow to heal, redness, irritation, or dryness. The third is nail abnormalities, including horizontal lines, increased cracking, hangnails, and white spots. I've introduced various symptoms like these. At YouTube Medical University, we responsibly share vital but lesser known medical information from a doctor's viewpoint. We discuss important topics that are difficult to cover in regular consultations. Please subscribe to the channel to stay updated on new videos. Unexpected signs of zinc deficiency. The fourth of the 6 signs is hair problems. Just like nails, the main component of hair is keratin, and zinc is necessary for the synthesis of this keratin. When zinc levels drop, it becomes harder for your body to produce hair, which can lead to increased hair loss, or your hair suddenly becoming thin and weak. Many people just give up, thinking it's their own fault, but in fact, when they get checked, it's often related to zinc. Changes in hair quality can affect your confidence in your appearance and even make you go out less, so please remember this. The fifth unexpected change from zinc deficiency is a decrease in immunity and digestive issues. As I mentioned earlier, a decrease in immunity means our body's ability to protect itself from germs and viruses is weakened. Zinc is important for maintaining this system. You may become more susceptible to infections like colds, and it may take longer to recover. And that's not all. There are also reports that digestive problems may become more likely. Zinc is also said to be involved in maintaining the function of the cells in the membranes. So if you lack zinc, the barrier function weakens, making you more prone to diarrhea. And if you get diarrhea, you lose even more zinc, which can lead to a vicious cycle of worsening zinc deficiency. That can happen. You might feel it's been hard to recover from a recent cold. After recovering from a cold, you might catch another one or experience stomach issues more easily. If so, zinc deficiency could be involved. Consider consulting your doctor or an internal medicine clinic to discuss it. That could be one option. Also, I think it's important to try the methods for supplementing zinc that I'll introduce in the third part and see if you notice any changes in your condition. The sixth and final surprising sign of zinc deficiency is this: mental health issues, especially problems unique to men. This isn't backed by definitive research, but there is a possibility that a lack of zinc may increase the risk of depression. Reports suggest that low zinc levels may be linked to depression, but more research is needed. Symptoms like lack of motivation, unclear mood, and low energy could be signs of zinc deficiency. Those symptoms might be related. It's possible that these symptoms are related to a lack of zinc. It's also said that zinc deficiency may be connected to decreased concentration and cognitive function. Additionally, it's believed to be related to male-specific issues, such as erectile dysfunction or erectile dysfunction. Zinc is essential for synthesizing the male hormone testosterone, so when zinc levels drop, male hormone levels also decrease, making it easier to develop erectile dysfunction. This is well known, so please remember it. How about you? Maybe some of you are thinking that your symptoms might be related to zinc deficiency. So in the third part, I'll talk about which foods are most efficient for supplementing zinc, and if it's difficult to get enough from your diet, which supplements I recommend. I'll also introduce the ones I actually use. But first, here are the key points for the second part. As an unexpected sign of zinc deficiency: 1. Abnormal taste or decreased appetite. 2. Slow healing skin problems or wounds. 3. Changes in nails. 4. Increased hair loss or thinning. 5th. Decreased immunity or digestive problems. 6th. Feeling more easily depressed or lacking motivation. Symptoms unique to men, such as erectile dysfunction, may also appear. I have introduced these points. So, in the third part, I'll talk about specific ways to take zinc. And I will also introduce some important precautions you should know about. As I mentioned at the beginning, when it comes to zinc intake, the reality is that Japanese people on average do not get enough zinc. They are not getting enough. The main reason is simply that people are not getting enough zinc from their diet. Other factors include having liver disease or other organ diseases, or having had parts of the digestive tract like the stomach removed, which makes it difficult to absorb zinc. There are also cases where people are taking medications or supplements that interfere with zinc absorption. This is something I want you to be aware of. An unexpected cause of zinc deficiency is that certain nutrients like phytic acid and polyphosphates can actually interfere with zinc absorption. Phytic acid, for example, is found in brown rice and similar foods. It's also found in whole grains and nuts. These foods are often promoted as healthy on YouTube Medical University. While phytic acid has some positive effects, it can hinder zinc absorption. From that perspective, be careful. In your stomach, this phytic acid binds with zinc, which prevents its absorption. There's also a substance called polyphosphate that similarly binds easily with zinc. Polyphosphate is a food additive used as a pH adjuster to maintain the quality of processed foods. It's said to be found in those kinds of things, such as whole wheat, brown rice, and similar foods. Surprisingly, foods that are considered healthy and recommended for consumption can actually promote zinc deficiency. Also, if you eat mostly processed foods, the additives can bind with zinc and cause your zinc levels to drop. That's why you should definitely be careful about this. However, the main cause of zinc deficiency is simply not getting enough zinc in your diet. So from here, I'll introduce a list of foods that are rich in zinc and highly efficient for intake. These are my recommended zinc-rich foods. Oysters, pork liver, beef. How about eel, pumpkin seeds, and eggs? There were some unusual items, but there were also things you could get from your daily meals, right? The most famous source of zinc is oysters. They're also called the milk of the sea, and if you can manage to eat about 5 relatively large oysters, that's about 10 mg, which is the amount of zinc you need in a day. Even though oysters are high in zinc, you still need to eat 5 of them, so you can see how difficult it is to get enough zinc. And if you can eat 100 grams of pork liver, you can get 7 milligrams milligrams of zinc. And as for beef, if you eat a 100-gram steak of sliced beef, that's about 4 mg of zinc, with a recommended intake of 11 mg for adult men and 8 mg for women. Even 100 g of meat provides less than half the required amount, which is surprising. You can see that it's difficult to get enough zinc. Besides that, eel contains about 3 milligrams of zinc per 100 grams, and well, although we don't usually eat them, pumpkin seeds seem to be high in zinc. I don't think you'd ever eat 100, but if you managed to eat 100, you could get about 7.7 milligrams of zinc. Natto is easy to remember. One pack gives you about 1 milligram. So, what do you think? If you want to get enough from food, you'd need about 10 packs of natto or 4 eels. You'd also need to eat about 250 grams of beef tenderloin or 150 grams of pork liver, which is quite a lot. And on top of that, there are things like phytic acid and polyphosphates. There are also substances that inhibit absorption, so it's actually difficult to take in enough zinc and store it in your body. Knowing this, I personally pay a lot of attention to my zinc intake. If you calculate your dietary zinc intake and find it insufficient, using supplements is an option. I confidently recommend them as safe for everyone. That's my opinion. Notably, each capsule contains an impressive 25 milligrams of zinc, which surpasses the daily required intake, as I stated before. That's the reason. Not all of the zinc you take in is absorbed, so I'm very proud that just one tablet contains enough zinc. To get this amount of zinc from your diet, you would need to eat about 15 medium-sized raw oysters or pork liver. You would have to eat about 350 grams of pork liver. In that sense, it's really helpful, and the amount contained in the supplement is very convenient. The capsules themselves are made from plant-based materials, and of course, no coloring agents or preservatives are used. That's one of the reasons why I chose this supplement. Of course, as the word supplement suggests, it's meant to supplement your diet. If you're told that you're lacking zinc, please think of supplements as something to use when you've reviewed your diet and it's clear that you're not getting enough zinc. The main source should always be your diet. However, since it's difficult to get enough zinc from food alone, especially for busy people, this zinc supplement can be a very reliable ally. If you're interested in trying it, I've included a link to the product in the description and pinned comment, so please check it out. Now, I'd like to share some important points to keep in mind about zinc. One thing you absolutely need to be careful about is taking too much zinc. I've talked a lot about how zinc is an essential mineral for the body, but actually taking too much can also be harmful to your health. There is a set upper limit for zinc intake. For men, it's about 40 to 45 milligrams per day, and for women, it's about 35 milligrams. It's said that it's unlikely to exceed this amount with a normal diet, but if you take too many supplements and go over the recommended amount, these kinds of problems can occur. There is also a possibility of that happening, so when taking such supplements, be sure to follow the daily intake guidelines listed on the product. Please don't increase the amount on your own or mix different supplements together. You should be careful so that you don't end up taking too much zinc in total without realizing it. Excessive zinc intake can decrease copper levels, a balancing metal, potentially causing anemia and fatigue. This applies to all nutrients, so avoid overconsumption. Here are the key points for the third period. Zinc deficiency is usually caused by insufficient dietary intake, but certain factors can also hinder zinc absorption. I mentioned factors like phytic acid and polyphosphates. Do you remember which foods contain these components? If you've forgotten, please review the previous lesson. As for zinc-rich foods, I introduced oysters, pork liver, beef, and pumpkin seeds. And since it's actually quite difficult to get enough zinc from just these foods, I also introduced a safe and reliable zinc supplement that I personally take. How was it? This time I talked about something that's not very well known. I discussed surprising signs of zinc deficiency, correct zinc supplementation methods, and zinc's function in the body. Zinc deficiency is common in clinical settings. If you have symptoms that may be caused by zinc deficiency or have experienced it before, if you've taken zinc supplements or made an effort to get more zinc and noticed changes in your body, please share your experiences in the comments section. Leaving comments like zinc is 11 milligrams then in the comments section can be helpful for others, so please feel free to do so. Please leave your comments. It will help you remember better. Whether it's the like button or the dislike button, I would really appreciate it if you could rate this video. Your channel subscriptions are my motivation to keep making videos. If you don't mind, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'd really appreciate that. Let's meet again next video.